Kingsley Iho is joining me now from the Daily Independent, and we're looking at the progress made so far by 4 of the rescued banks who have signed transaction implementation agreements, and of course for their recap process. Thank you so much for joining us, Kingsley. Now, recent developments, we've seen some recent developments lately concerning these rescued banks. 4 of them, Finbank, Intercontinental Bank, Oceanic, and Union, have gotten regulatory approval from the Securities and Exchange Commission. On ETB, there have also been court orders for them to convene shareholders' meetings before September 30. That's the Central Bank's recap deadline.
There's one for September 30.
There's one for September 30. Okay, now, how would you rate the process so far, the progress that these banks have made?
Well, speaking frankly, we are getting close to the end of the tunnel. And if out of 8, you are having 5 getting close to safe harbor, I think we are making good progress.
Okay, what about let's break this down. Let's start with the regulators. The role the regulators have played so far. How would you rate how they how they have been able to ensure that the process is a smooth one, especially for the investors who they are meant to be protecting?
Well, the regulators, especially the CBN, has made it clear that they do not have the duty to protect the investors. They are protecting depositors. So that one has always been made clear. Now, whether the ones that are supposed to protect the investors have done a good job is a mixed bag. It's still being discussed as to how well they have protected investors. And that may have shown in how badly the stock market indicators performed in the last month that just passed. That's in August. The indicator, the benchmark index was down by almost 8%, and investors lost about almost 800 billion of real cash.
Yeah, so but that was to be expected.
Of course, that is to tell you that the level of confidence, the confidence level is not managed. It's not been properly managed. Otherwise, the thing should not get to that point.
Oh, okay, now let's talk about the court orders that these banks got. How was the process? Was it difficult to get these orders for the EGMs?
The court orders it's not supposed to be a difficult process. It's a straightforward thing. The law says that they need the order of the court for such marriages to be consummated, and they've gone to court to seek approval, and the court will tell them, okay, the court approved specific dates for them to hold these extraordinary general meetings to agree for the shareholders to have a say as to whether these marriages should continue or not.
Now, okay, let's talk about the shareholders themselves. When these EGMs eventually convened before September 30, what are expectations?
I would want to expect that the shareholders will vote in support of the mergers, of the completion of the process, because any opinion different at variance with this expectation will spell another terrible consequence for them. Especially, I know of somebody, for example, who is a shareholder in those 3 banks that their licenses were revoked, and he could just be a shareholder in any of these other ones that have made considerable progress. So it will not be in their favor at this point to backstep.
So you don't see it as because you don't see it as an unpredictable situation. They haven't convened the meeting yet. The shareholders, the terms, or if I can use the phrase, terms and agreements of each individual deal, the shareholders have not been briefed on this deal. So you're saying that at that meeting they will see all the terms and agreements, and they would be in favor of it completely?
No, I expect that before these meetings, the documents, the schemes of arrangement and all that would have been posted to the shareholders. That is why there is a 21-day time between when it is announced and when the meeting is fixed to sort out all the postage issues. So the shareholders are supposed to have received these documents, perused them, and sought advice as to whether it is a good deal or not.
Okay, so they will know before the date itself exactly what they're getting themselves
because
into.
the document is bulky. So where will you start reading from? So you have to get it 1-2 weeks or even a few days before to be able to go through and see where you pitch your tent.
What about some of the shareholders? You just mentioned that it's a bulky document. I'm sure there'll be a lot of big English grammar in it, if I can say. So with all of them, everybody understand the terms?
No, as an investor, you should know what you are going into. And that is why if you don't know, if those grammar, the grammar is too much for you, that is why you should seek advice of those who know to break it down for you, to tell you the implication of these things.
No, so I'm saying this because I've been to some share on AGMs, and I've seen, many times I saw many artisans, people who were not exactly educated. That's why I'm.
That is where those who know come in, and that is where newspapers and magazines and all of that come in, because a lot of times they take these issues and analyze, and you, with very little knowledge, should be able to follow and to understand. Where you don't still understand, you still have issues, you can still go to people who will be able to guide you. So it's not an issue of whether you understand or not. You just, because you have put your money in there, and it is your business to know whether your money is serving the purpose for which you have put it.
Now, okay. Now, I know you as a journalist, you've covered the capital market, the banking sector for several years now. What is the word on the street about the outcome of these meetings, the feelers from the shareholders themselves?
The feelers, I don't think there is much of alternatives available there.
They're saying these shareholders at that meeting have no choices. Either they take the deal or they leave the deal.
They have a choice. Sorry, it's not as if they don't have a choice. Because zero is an answer. It's either, I'm not speaking for the regulators. Mark, don't misunderstand me. I am just saying that at this point now, it is between the devil and the deep blue sea.
For the shareholders? For
the shareholders. It's either you go ahead or you back out with heavy consequences. So it's really a tough one for them. But they just have to, we just have to put this whole business behind us.